On. I'm Deborah. Good. I'm Deborah, and today we are recording because next week, September 26th through October 1st, I will not be here. I will be traveling. So you will be able to practice at home using the TV because they will run these recordings. And you can also come down here if you don't have a TV or an iPad. So let's begin as usual. Let's find our position. If you're in a chair, move your butt forward, put your feet flat on the floor, looking like the number 11, hip width apart. Let's all roll our pelvis forward so that we come up onto our sits bones. Then we can pull our abs in and up as we lift our breastbone, ask our shoulders to go back and down, and then lift the back of our head. Let's close our eyes for a few seconds and take inventory. How are we doing today? How's our breathing? How's our digestion? How are our joints? How's our mood? Then opening our eyes, we can extend our arms, palms up, inhale up. And then 2 fountain breaths. Good. As we say good morning to one of our shoulders, we will remember that everything I say is a suggestion, not a demand. So let's go backwards. So if I suggest something that's inappropriate for your body due to surgery, injury, arthritis, or you are just plain tired, let's do the other shoulder. I advise that you just skip it. Take a breather and rejoin us when you're ready. Let's go backwards. Good. Release that. Let everything just wiggle and let go. Take a breath. And let's look over our right shoulder. Come back and look over your left shoulder. Good. Come back to center. All righty. So let's push away our imaginary wall. Fan your hand out, make it as wide as you possibly can make it, and really push right from the middle of your back, straight elbows, work at it. Good. Make a soft fist pointed at the floor for a little upper wrist stretch. Good. Let's go back to pushing away the infernal wall. And then index finger to thumb and squeeze, second, third, and fourth. Backwards, fourth, third, second, and first. Good. Release it, and let's play a few piano scales. We want every little joint to get a chance to stretch and flex. And then turn your palms up and let your hands gently flop. This stretches the inside of your wrist. Good. And if you want to gild the lily, turn your palms down and go side to side. Yeah, good. All right, let's let that go. Take a nice deep breath. All right, let's pick some apples. Grab an apple and pull it down. Grab another one. Reaching up as tall as you can be, reaching for the top of the tree. Let's all pretend that the best apples are up there and get them. Are they? The farm girl knows. If Bernice says the best apples are up there, I believe it. Okay, let's let that all go. Take a nice breath. Let's do a few cat and cow stretches. So your head's coming forward, your belly's going backwards, you're exhaling down. As you inhale, lift your head, lift your breastbone, and then collapse down on the exhale. Inhale as you rise. I'm getting a picture this morning of those silly balloons that they put outside of car washes and things. Good. All right. Come back to center. Take a nice breath. Give everything a loosening up. All right. So let's do some exaggerated chewing and we'll exercise our face. So when we do exaggerated chewing, everything moves: eyes, nose, cheeks, everything. Chew on the left. Chew on the right. Make your chin go in a circle. Go backwards. Open wide. Pucker up. And let it go. Relax your face. Look up. Pull your lower lip over your upper lip. Come back to center and let everything relax. And just feel your face. Okay, good. All righty. So let's do the next sequence. So now we're going to use our nose as a pointer, draw a figure 8 on its side using your nose. And we're going to open and close all the vertebrae in your upper neck. Then stop and go backwards. When you've gotten enough of that, just come back to center. All right, so check in with your posture. Make sure your breastbone is nicely lifted and allow your chin to approach your breastbone, but don't let your breastbone sink. When your chin goes as low as it's going to go, just pause and wait. Breathe encouragement into the muscles across the top of your shoulders. And gradually, without any effort on your part, your chin will go a little bit lower. When you're ready, roll your right ear to the right. So now your right ear is looking at your shoulder and you're looking at the wall opposite. And you're beginning to feel the muscles up and down the left side of your neck open. When you're ready, nod a slow and gentle yes. And then you can roll your chin to the middle and over to the left. Once again, check in with your breastbone. Make sure it's still lifted. Your left ear is looking at your left shoulder. You're looking at the wall. And if you direct your attention to the right side of your neck, you can begin to feel it open. Breathe encouragement into those opening muscles. And when you're ready, nod slowly, yes. And then you can roll your chin to the middle or to the right, back to the middle and over to the left. Some people like to go all the way around. However, that is controversial, and we want to be very kind to our necks. So if your neck is feeling lovely and wonderful, you might want to go for it. Otherwise, This is safer. And when you've had enough of that, you simply come back to center, lift your head, take a nice deep breath, give everything a little bit of loosening. Good. All righty. So now it's time for seated spinal twist. So if you're on the floor, you'll need to stretch your legs straight out. If you're sitting in a chair, you don't have to do anything because your legs are fine. Floor folks, it's right leg over left arm to right knee. Everybody sit up straight and tall, pivot to your right. Use your hands on your chair or the floor to help you with your pivot. We want our spines to be as vertical as we can possibly make it with our chest lifted and breathing from our belly. Make sure your abs are engaged. We want to support our spine. The stronger our abs, the more support we give our spine, and the less likely it is to be sore and cranky. Let's twist back a little bit deeper and release it. Come back to center. Give everybody a loosening. Take a breath. Because now, for the floor folks, it's left leg over right, right arm to left knee. Everybody sit up straight, pivot to your left. Once again, using your arms as needed. Breathing in, keeping your chest lifted, your abs are engaged. And we're just about ready so we can twist back a little bit deeper. Before we release it, give everything a good loosening wiggle. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, so it's time for the frog. Last time I did it from a standing posture, so of course today I'm going to do it from a seated position. So sitting on the front edge of a chair, you separate your feet wide apart, rest your hands on your palms, and then sit up nice and straight and tall, lift your breastbone and lean forward, keeping your head and chest up so that we can get the stretch to come out of our hip joints. And simply lean forward until your hips are saying, no, 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 I don't want to go here. And then you stop and you think compassionate thoughts about your hips. Let them know that there's no rush. They can take as much time as they need to get accustomed to this new version of reality, to quiet the panic, and to simply open. If you can get your hands comfortably down onto the floor with your palms, you can release your neck. However, if you're unable to get your palms comfortably on the floor, don't spend any time worrying about it. Simply leave your hands on your knees. That's safer. Breathe into the stretch that's going on in your hip joints and help them let go of stress and tension. As usual, you can stay as long as you like. However, if you're ready to come out of it, make sure your hands are on your knees, lift your head and chest, and come back to vertical. Good, let's stand up. Give everything a good loosening wiggle. Shake out your legs. Take a breath. All righty, so we're going to get into Tadasana as we are wont to do. So we want to make our feet look like the number 11, hip width apart. And don't forget the little fist trick if you want to check that. Good. All righty. So feel the floor. You can weave a little back. You can weave a little forward, side to side, back and forth, Now, make sure that you can feel the floor through your feet and that each quadrant of your foot is doing its fair share of holding you up. Pull yourself up through your legs. You can tuck your pelvis a tiny amount. Then if you put your hands on your belly, you can feel your abs, pull your abs in and up as you lift your breastbone. Ask your shoulders to go back and down, and then lift the back of your head. Oh, you look great. That's right, you do look 10 years younger. Take a nice deep breath. As this is the posture of maximum lung capacity. And we are feeding and cleansing our bodies with every breath. Good, let's bring our arms out. Interlace your hands. Notice which fingers on top. Reverse, stretch. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace and lift into chest expansion. Feel those pectoral muscles get this lovely, lovely stretch. Release it. Let's bring our arms out again. This time when you interlace, make sure the other finger is on top. Reverse, stretch. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace the weird way and lift. Breathe into that stretch. Good. Release it. Let everything get a shaking out or a patting down, whichever you prefer is good. Good. All righty. So let's see. What did we have last time? Did we have Warrior One last time? No. Two. Oh, we have a difference of opinion. Okay, some say two, some say three. Let's do Warrior One. Okay, to do Warrior One, we need our handy dandy chair, which will be on our left with the high point of the chair. Keep in mind that you need 2 lanes for this. You want the left lane for the left foot, the right lane for the right foot. Don't let them confuse. Step forward with your left foot. Your left knee is bent over your left ankle. Your right leg is straight. If you put your hands on your hips, you'll see that they're pointed over there. And I want to bring them back this way so that they're pointing the same direction as my left toes. So then I stack my shoulders over my hips. Now I can decide what I'd like to do with my arms. I can leave them on my hips. I can put them in prayer position, goddess arms, yoga mudra arms, or palms facing. Pick one, look up, and breathe. See if you can roll your shoulders down from your arms, ears, any amount. Check in with your abs, make sure they're engaged. Check in with your breastbone. Say hello to your legs, they're working hard. And of course, you're breathing. When you're ready to come out of it, and stay longer if you need to, bring your arms down, step forward, shake out your legs, take a breath. Good. Release all of that tension. So now we're going to do it the other way around. This time we're going to be stepping forward with our right foot so that our right knee is bent over our right ankle, left leg is straight. Put your hands on your hips, you know where they are. Make sure that they're facing the same direction as your right toes. Stack your shoulders above your hips. And now decide what you'd like to do with your hands. All of the choices that were available before are available now. Look up and breathe. These power poses do a very lovely job of asking our muscles to work using the weight of our body as weights. When you're ready to come out of it, all you have to do is bring your arms down, step forward, take a breath, and release that tension and work. Let it go, because it's over. Good. All right. So let's do our inversion, and we'll get our heads below our hearts, which is very good for our heads. It's very good for our hearts. So we're putting our feet back into Tadasana, and then we're going to do a swan dive down with a nice flat back, which minimizes strain. So inhale up. And when you hang, make sure that your neck is not trying to hold up your head. So the top of your head is facing the floor. Breathe encouragement into all the muscles up and down the backs of your legs and across your back as they begin to open. If we spend most of our day sitting around, our poor muscles don't get a chance to work and stretch. So this is very important to allow the backs of our legs to get that all-important stretch. Twist to the right. Take hold of any part of your anatomy that you find over there and keep breathing. Check in with your neck again. Come back to center, stretch to the left, take hold of whatever's over there. Keep breathing. And notice how these little side stretches seriously change the way it feels. To come out of it, simply come back to center, put your hands on your legs, come up to a flat back, and stand up. Let everything get a nice little wiggle, a nice little letting go. All righty, so it's time for us to do a good balance pose. And the queen of the balance poses is the tree. So we need our handy chair. You can use it or not, it doesn't matter. You need to have it though to protect you from falls. None of us want to fall. So we're going to start with the chair on our left because we're going to stand on our left leg. Good morning, come in. So now stand up nice and straight, turn your right leg out 90 degrees and decide where you'd like to park that foot. You can leave your toe on the floor. You can put it against your ankle, against your calf, against your knee. You can bring it right into your groin, park it wherever it makes you comfortable, which is not working for me today. There we go. Good. Once you find your balance, you can decide what you'd like to do with your arms. Same options as for Warrior One. I know what my problem is. I didn't find a drishti to begin with. Make sure that your gaze is fixed upon some little spot that won't move. It helps considerably. Now, of course, you can stay as long as you like. But if you're ready to come out of it, bring your arms down, foot down, shake out your standing leg, the other one, give everything a loosening up and a breath. Okay. So this way around, we want to make sure that our right hand is available to the chair. Now, this time we're going to find our drishti first. Some little spot. Fix your gaze upon it. Turn your left leg out 90 degrees and park that foot where you wish. And then decide where you'd like to keep your arms. It's amazing how different this posture is from one side to the other. Oh, well. Stay as long as you like, but when you're done, bring your arms down, foot down, shake out the standing leg, give everything a loosening up, and breathe. Good. All righty. Yeah. As long as you do your own spanking, it's okay. No communal spanking going on here. All righty. So we're going to draw our little circle on the floor. Turn to your right, walk around your little circle, taking the largest steps you can comfortably take. When you get back to start, walk backwards. At the starting position, turn around 180 and walk forward. When you get back to start, go backwards. Good. When you have come back to the beginning, you're done. All righty. So let's do the chair. We haven't done the chair for a little while. We need a chair for that, not because we're going to touch it, because we're not, but we want it as our safety equipment. So we're standing immediately in front of the chair and our feet are in Tadasana. Good. All righty. So now if the worst possible thing happens, all we're going to do is we're end up in the chairs. No biggie. So now the thing to keep them in mind is some folks habitually bring their knees together when they bend their knees. I want you to keep your knees lined up over your ankles. Put your hands on your hips, bend your knees, stick your butt out. This is the chair. When you're ready, straighten your legs, stand up, shake them out. Okay, so we're going to do it again. So put your feet back into Tadasana. We're going to do exactly the same thing we did before. If you would like a little extra challenge, bring your arms up overhead, bend your knees, make sure they're still over your ankles and not together, and breathe. Stay as long as you like, unless you're ready to come out of it, in which case you simply stand up. Let your arms and your legs get a wiggle, take a breath. Good, okay. All righty, so separate your feet comfortably, whatever that means for you, and prepare to bend your knees. Take one arm, draw a huge figure 8 on its side using one arm. You're shifting your weight left and right from one foot to the other. Stop and go backwards. Good. Now let the other arm take over the job. You're still shifting your weight left and right, allowing your knees to bend when they want to. stop, and go backwards. We're crossing the midline of the brain, which is good for it. Good. Now come back to center, take both arms, and we'll both have both arms working together. Stop and go backwards. And then stop. Shake out those legs, give them a pat down, take a breath. Good. Because there we have the first half hour of the class. I realize many of you don't want to get down on the floor, which is fine. I hope that you will go home, lay down on your sofa or bed, relax for 15 minutes with your eyes closed, and then sip some water. So I wish you a terrific week next week. And then I will see you back here October 4th. Yeah. So namaste. Okay, let's get that out of the way. All righty, so here we are in tabletop. Our elbows are straight, our hands are directly under our shoulders, our knees are under our hips. Let's lift our right arm straight out in front of us and then bring it down. Left arm straight in front of us and down. Left leg straight out behind us and down. Right leg straight out behind us and down. So now we're going to do right arm, left leg, stretch out, elbow to knee, stretch out and down. It looks like this. Then left arm, right leg, stretch, elbow to knee, stretch and down. Go back to the right arm. This does require balance. If your balance is wonky, this is going to be hard. Good. All righty, so let's curl our toes under and we'll go straight into downward facing dog. Lift your pelvis, walk your feet backward a little bit so that you have a good space between your feet and your arms. That'll put more of your weight on your arms, which is a good thing. Push your chest as close to your knees as you can do it. And breathe. Now you can stay as long as you want to. And the longer you stay, the better for your body, because it's strengthening your shoulders. It's giving your back a lovely stretch. When you're ready to come out of it, simply touch your knees to the floor, big toes together, knees a little separate, and then rest your forehead on the floor in child pose. However, if your butt can get nowhere near your heels, you might want to stack one fist on top of the other and rest your head there. Alternatively, of course, you can roll over onto your back, pull your knees up onto your chest and give them a hug. Do take a couple of deep breaths and let that work and effort go. The letting go is as important as the doing. All righty, so let's lay down on our backs. Let your body settle into the position. Feel how it's reorganizing itself after the work of doing downward facing dog and now being in this completely resting position. Good. All right, put your feet flat on the floor and extend your right leg to the ceiling. Point and flex your right foot. Just like waving at the ceiling. Then draw a circle with your foot without moving your leg. This is very important to give all those tendons and ligaments in your foot a little stretch. Go backwards. They play a key role in helping you stay vertical. Good. Now, when you're ready, take your right straight leg, pull your abs in, and slowly lower your right straight leg all the way to the floor. When your heel touches down, relax your leg, relax your abs. Your toes should roll out. Now, stiffen your leg, pull your abs in, slowly raise your right leg to vertical. And we're going to repeat that 3 more times. Slowly lower that leg. Now, some of you might be interested or eager to do this without relaxing at the bottom. However, that's defeating the purpose of what we're doing. We really do want to build in that little rest period, even though it's only a micro rest. That's an important part of what we're doing. So don't skip it. You can always skip work. You cannot skip rest. All right, so now we finished that. Take your right leg, let it drift to the right as if it was going to lay on the floor. When it gets as close to the floor as it's going to get, just bring it back. And repeat that 2 more times. When you have finished the sequence, just bend your knee and plant your right foot on the floor. Good. Now extend your left leg to the ceiling, point and flex that foot. Wake up tendons. We have interesting things for you to do today. Now draw a circle on the ceiling using that foot, keeping that leg still. Go backwards. Now, here we go. We are slowly lowering that leg all the way to the floor with our abs pulled in. When it touches the floor, release your leg, let the toes roll out, release your abs. Now, tighten up the leg, tighten up the abs, and lift that leg back to vertical, and repeat that sequence 3 more times. Again, being careful to include the rest period. As brief as it is important to learn how to do it. For those of you who think this is not sufficiently challenging, straighten out your right leg. That will add a degree of challenge and work. Alrighty, when you finish the sequence, take your left leg, let it drift left, heading for the floor. When it gets as close to the floor as it's going to get, just bring it back. And repeat that 2 more times. And when you have finished the sequence, bend your knee, put your foot on the floor, take a deep breath, and let that work and effort go. Good. Now pick up your both legs and draw a circle on the ceiling with both legs together. Enjoy the massage that it's giving your lower back. And go backwards. Put your left foot on the floor, slide it out straight. Interlace your hands either in front of or behind your right knee. And on the exhale, pull your right knee towards your chest. On the inhale, let it rebound and go back and forth. This is the wind relieving posture. But it has so many other benefits. This is a true classic pose with the embarrassing name. I've actually had instructors who are too embarrassed to use it. Pick up your left knee, transfer your hands to your left knee, put your right foot on the floor, and slide your right leg out straight, and continue. Good. Now, let's roll to one side and sit up. Good. All right. So we're going to stretch our backs. So we're going to head for our toes. But before we head for our toes to stretch our backs, we want to get as much of the stretch coming out of our hips as possible. So keep your head and chest up and simply lean towards your feet. That will encourage your hips to open up a little bit. It'll encourage your lower back to begin to open. If you like this gentle bounce, you can do that. If not, skip it. And then when you're ready, you simply continue towards your feet, lowering your head, lowering your chest. If you wish, you can reach out with your arms. You can take hold of your toes or your ankles or whatever is available. And you can very, very, very gently exert some pressure that will give you a wonderful hamstring stretch as the stretch moves up your back. Breathe into the stretching muscles. Give them your encouragement. And now, if you interlace your hands behind your head, let your elbows and your neck drop. The stretch will move even higher up your back. Keep breathing.
If you can persuade your neck, release it. It will resist. You have to be very persuasive. But if you can succeed, you can really feel the stretch in your upper back. Stay as long as you like, but if you're ready to come out of it, release your hands to the floor and slowly sit up. Good. Give everything a loosening wiggle. Take a nice deep breath. Separate your feet comfortably wide apart, whatever that means for your body. Some people can bring their legs way out there. That's not going to happen for me. Okay, so today we're going to put our right hand on the floor next to our right leg. So this arm, this leg. Good. Palm up. If you can sneak your thumb under your leg, great. Now take your left shoulder back to the ceiling as you bring your left arm over your head and reach into the neighborhood of your right foot. You're looking at the wall, not the floor, and breathing. Whether or not you can touch your right toe is immaterial. Simply being in the posture is fine. And when you're ready to come out of it, simply send your left arm to the ceiling and follow it up. Lean back, cock your knees so that they get a chance to rest from that extended posture. Take a breath. Good. So let's do the other side. So we're going to take our left hand, left leg, left hand, same leg, same hand, and you're going to stick your palm underneath your leg, palm up, bring your right shoulder back to the ceiling, bring your right arm up over your head and somewhere into the vicinity of your left toes. You're looking at the wall, not the floor, and breathing. As you begin to settle into the posture, you will be able to get a little closer to your left toe. Whether or not you touch it is immaterial. What's important is the fact that you are reaching and stretching and breathing. When you've had enough of this, simply send your right arm back to the ceiling and follow it up. Lean back on your arms, cock your knees. Take a nice deep breath. And let go of all that work. Good. So let's see, we've done some side stretches. We've done some ab work. I think we should do the bridge. The bridge is a sensational posture for the core. So we're going to sit on our mat with our feet hip width apart and our knees cocked. So our feet at present are roughly a foot from my butt, and I want to bring them as close to my butt as possible. And I'm going to lay down, head down, good. And I'm going to roll my hips left and right so that they can partially cover my lower arms. And I can then pull my feet even closer to my butt. Now I can tuck my pelvis a wee bit and put it down. I can tuck it a little bit more and put it down. And each time I use a slightly bigger tuck. until I get all the way up onto my shoulders. And I can walk my feet even closer into my head. Now I can roll my shoulders behind me. I can interlace my hands. And so I'm getting a little chest expansion along with working my core to raise my hips as close to the ceiling as I can get it. And breathing. This is a terrific core strengthener. You're working your butt, you're working your thighs, your abs, everybody's working. Now you can stay as long as you like, but when you're ready to come out of it, separate your arms, let them come overhead, and then slowly lower your vertebra one at a time. When your hips are down, you're done. Bring your knees up onto your chest, give them a hug, take a deep breath. Let that work and effort go. Since we have time, we're going to do a little bit more ab work. So release your hands and bring them down to the mat and extend both legs together to the ceiling, nice and straight. Keep both feet together and draw a small circle on the ceiling using your feet. So you're losing all of your leg to do this, which means you're working your abs. Go backwards. Try to pull your abs in as much as you can. Now separate your feet wide apart. Bring your arms through your legs. Head lift is optional. If you have a cranky neck, don't do it. Then bring your legs back together. Bend your knees. Put your feet on the floor. Take a nice deep breath. And let all of that go. Good. So now it's time for deep relaxation. So if you have socks, sweaters, blankets, pillows, cushions, now is the time to acquire them. And then arrange yourself either on the floor or your sofa or your bed in the most comfortable possible position. And of course, you are the sole arbiter of what that might be. When you get yourself into your relaxation position, be sure to close your eyes and take a couple of nice deep breaths. We haven't spent much time in this class doing breathing exercises because it's such a short class. So let's spend some time right now. We'll do the square wave breathing, but we're going to extend it a little bit. So I'm going to count to 6 on the inhale, 6 when you hold it, 6 on the exhale, and 6 when you hold it. And that way you will be consciously slowing your breathing a little bit. So prepare to inhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. I'm sorry. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release your breath to do what it wants to do. One of the purposes of controlled breathing is to help you integrate your mental processes with your body. One of the things that you can do with controlling your breath is to calm your anxiety. When we allow our mind to bombard us with random thoughts, that can heighten our anxieties. If we can focus our attention on controlling our breathing, it helps us turn away from those anxiety-producing thoughts, and we can become calmer. Believe it or not, they actually teach that square breathing technique to Navy SEALs, so that when they are getting ready for an action, when their anxiety is at its peak, they can learn to control it. But you don't have to be going into combat to make use of that technique. The stresses and strains of everyday life cause us enough angst that we can all benefit from a tool like that. So now it's time to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, make any motions that might feel good. And then roll to one side to come up to a seated position. We'll put our hands together in prayer position, sit up tall, close our eyes, lower our heads, and give thanks for this day. Then raising our heads and opening our eyes, we can turn to one another and say, Namaste, Namaste, Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, a great week next week, and I'll see you soon. Take it easy.